Our parents and teachers taught us from the time we were just small not to lie to others. Do not tell a lie. But did they forget the importance of not lying to ourselves? Today we're throwing back the curtain on 5 hidden lies all women are telling ourselves that are stunting our growth. Here to reaffirm that honesty truly is always the best policy. A man who looks, I don't know, 1 year older since the last time I saw you. Yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, thank you.
Did you have a good day?
Yes. I went through a spanking machine.
Oh, stop it.
It was awesome. It was so awesome.
You had to go there. Well, happy birthday from us. So we're lying.
We lie all the time.
Why do we do this?
Well, it's just little things. And by the way, I think women might do it more than men. Or maybe it's just different. But we're lying, and we do it, I think, because there's just certain things we've always been told or we've always believed, and if we just keep believing them, then it keeps us in the same space. Are
these things people have told us or society has impressed on us, or are we making these up?
Yes and yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
People are telling us society kind of believes a lot of this, and then we make it up because a lot of times it makes our life easier to believe these things.
Now that's
if you just believe this lie, you don't have to do other things.
Okay.
So we're going to blow them up.
You're making our life harder.
Yeah. And the weird thing is making it harder creates a little tension, and that tension actually creates growth. But if you don't create the tension, then you just kind of go to the lowest point.
All right, lie number 1, natural gifts are the only real gifts.
Yeah, some of us just think, well, I don't want to do it if it's not natural. Like, I mean, the woman with natural curls, her curls are more real, more blessed, more kissed and divine from heaven than anyone else's curls. Right? Like, yeah. Or the natural athlete. Just we revere the natural athlete, not the earned athlete, not the one that's worked really hard at it, but the one that just seems to do it naturally. All of us want to pretend like what we do is just so easy for us. We fake like it's easy. But a lot of the stuff we're doing that's pretty amazing stuff is hard. It's hard, but we try to make it look so natural.
Why do we do that? You know what, you're right. You're so right. Why do we do that?
Part of it, I think, is because there's the illusion out there that you're somehow gifted. Like, God has kissed your brow and brought you to earth to do whatever you do. But this show, for example, is hard. Well, it's hard to do this. It's funny.
I kind of have an example of what you're saying. I'm a preparer. I like to put in preparation. I like to go into a conversation prepared. I do. And I remember there was an author who was traveling through this market, and multiple journalists were, lined up and scheduled to interview this author. I bring my book. It's dog-eared. It's highlighted. It's, penned over. Yeah. And one of my colleagues from, another media outlet leaned over and said, "You actually read the book?" And I was embarrassed for a minute. I was like, oh, I mean, because I could get up there and fake it like the rest of them, but that's not my style.
No, like, you have to work to be this
But in the moment, I felt the need to say, oh, no, I didn't read the book. Yeah.
So we all pretend like this isn't hard. But when we pretend like it's not hard, our kids think that life shouldn't be this hard. But the best gifts aren't the easy ones that we just were born with. The best gifts are the ones we've worked on, that we've literally just made happen through force and effort.
That's true. So recognizing the work and showing the work too, showing our work.
And so stop pretending like this is just easy.
Yeah.
It's not.
So then if someone's paying you a compliment, like, okay, I'm a woman who just threw this awesome party. Yeah. And someone says, oh my gosh, I can't believe all the effort you put into this. What would we say instead of dismissing it and saying, oh, it was no big deal? It was
no big deal. You know what, honestly, I love doing it, so the effort wasn't that hard, but it was a lot of work, and I did it because this doesn't come natural to me. I'd even say, honestly, I'm not naturally good at this, so this took a lot of effort. I know it looks like I sometimes don't think it through, but I spent a lot of time on this.
I like that, honesty.
It's just honesty. And then it makes all of us relax, like, oh, okay.
And feel better.
There aren't angels.
Lie number, well, there are angelic curls, apparently. You just taught us. You just taught us. Right. Lie number 2, I could never handle fill in the blank.
We always say, I could never handle X.
I could never do that.
Oh, I could never handle if my husband did that. I could never handle if my so-and-so went through this medical issue. The reality is, yeah, you could. You could. You actually would. We're horrible at identifying what we're good at and what we're bad at. Most people think they're great drivers, okay? Honestly, they're not. You're horrible drivers, and you need to face the fact. But the reality is we think we can't do stuff, but you can. So quit believing the lie that you can't do it. If you were forced to do it, you could do it. I have a friend that is going through an 8-year battle with a brain tumor, and I'm sure at the beginning they would have all said, oh, we never could have handled this. They're handling it as beautifully as you can as a family, and they're actually teaching the rest of us how to do it. So yeah, you can do it. So quit telling yourself the lie you can't. Instead, just say, I hope to be able to do everything I'd have to do if I had to handle it. I'd rather not, but if I had to handle it, I with heaven's blessing, I could help it.
I like that. Lie number 3, things are black and white.
Yeah.
They're up and they're down. They're yes or they're no.
That's right. You're fat or you're not. You're healthy or you're not. You're smart or you're not. And you're gifted or you're not. And that's a bunch of hooey. Nothing on earth is black and white like that clean. There are a million iterations of it. Even the things that seem right and wrong have weird iterations for why the person would do such a wrong thing. So the problem with thinking everything's black and white is we oversimplify. And when you oversimplify it, you have a hard time correcting it because you'll never get it all the way white. And so you did default back to some other level. Everything is not black and white. And the minute you make it so easy, you miss every other color in the rainbow, right? Every other hue. And it actually limits the likelihood that you'll ever hit anything because you've got 2 shots, black or white, where I can give you 500 versions of the exact same thing. I'd rather have the odds of 500 than 2 any day. Blow up the myth.
I love that so much.
I'm sick
You're
of it.
missing the rainbow.
No, you are.
All right, the next lie, everyone else has their act together.
Holy cow, everyone else has got it together. Okay, here's the truth. No, they don't. They're all a bunch of scammers. They're all a bunch of liars.
Instagram says.
Yeah. Get rid of it. None of us have our act together. It's not real. I don't care who you are. And even when you think you've got your act together, all you are is living in that space before your act falls apart and you didn't know it. All you are is on the road to losing your game because it doesn't matter. Physically, we don't. Socially, emotionally, spiritually, financially. To have all of that together in a healthy way it's near impossible.
But devil's advocate, isn't that kind of depressing to say, yeah, I don't have my act together?
No. Wouldn't it be great if everyone said it?
Freeing then. It becomes
then all
free.
would be like, oh, so you're normal. Yeah, we're all just a bunch of normal people who are doing our best to have our act together, and we can pull it together for a bit of a time here and there. But the reality is we're all just constantly trying to put it together and make it work.
30 seconds. Lie number 3, I'm just lucky.
You're just lucky. Bull. No, you're not. You're not lucky. I say lucky a lot. So people say, oh, I love your wife. She's beautiful. I'm like, I know, I'm so lucky. But really what I am, I'm either blessed or I chose a killer wife and I worked really hard for it. So it's either a blessing from God or it's work that I'm responsible for. It's not something some leprechaun that thinks I'm magically delicious brought me. It's not that. That's luck. It's not luck. The problem with luck is you can't continually have luck, right? Luck kind of comes and goes with luck. So it's either blessed, and that can come and go too, but it's either from God or it's from my work. And I would rather know that if I kind of trust in God but work my head off, I'll get something that looks like luck, but it's really just a good life.
But honor the source.
Honor the source. And quit thinking it's not you, because the minute you don't think it's you creating a lot of your life with blessings from above, then you probably don't deserve what, you're not going to work for it. You're just going to hope that the leprechaun comes around.
That green little guy.
That green little guy.
You're so wise. Thank you. Thank you for
Brooklyn.
sharing your inspiration. You just wrapped up your parenting course over the weekend. It was a huge hit.
Huge. Yeah, big time.
And you continue to offer resources and workshops through your website.
Just go to matttownsend.com. If you enter in the code, you can get our past date night in Idaho. You can get a lot of our past workshops and classes. They're all online, matttownsend.com.
I've had 4 friends ask me about date night in just the last week. Like, when's the next date night? So
it's in November, just know that.
All right, you're a man in demand.
I don't like to think that far ahead.
Dish it out. We'll link you over to his website from ours to make it easy for you. Thanks again, Matt.